Hey everybody, my name is Forbes Riley, and I'm an American actress and a TV host. And I was delighted when I got my copy of Missing, which is Extraordinary Relation of Ordinary People based on a real life relationship. It's well written. It's amazing. You know, it talks about a man who has lost his wife and his daughter, and it's very well done. I'm going to highly recommend that you go get your copy of Missing. It is a powerful, exciting read. Mr. Mian Moshe Zia. He is the author of Missing. And I want to give a big shout out and a kiss all the way halfway around the world to my dear friend. Check him out at Mia's website. It's called www.miamoshenzea.com. Missing, available on Amazon. Again, I'm Forbes Riley, and I will see you again soon. Bye-bye.
The Mike Wagner Show is powered by Sonic Web Studios. If you're looking to start or upgrade your online presence, visit www.sonicwebstudios.com for all of your online needs. Sonic Web Studios specializes in custom web design, app development, social networking, search engine optimization, domain registration, email marketing, online stores, and more. Since our birth, we have been designing and developing immaculate websites and providing web solutions which are a cut above the rest. As a leading web designing enterprise, we have a team of extremely talented web designers who are well-focused and have the experience of working on multiple web developing platforms such as PHP, Magento, custom WordPress, and more. Sonic Web Studios has been helping businesses of all kinds, whether big, small, established, or startup, impress their audiences with exemplary web solutions. We don't just create beautiful and functional websites. We give you a complete online solution with the main goal of enhancing your yearly revenues. We aim to give your business the online exposure and brand acknowledgement that will help you in achieving increased conversions leading to profitable sales. Call 1-800-303-3960 or visit us online at www.sonicwebstudios.com to get started today. Mention the Mike Wagner Show and get 20% off your project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level.
Hi, this is Mia Mosensia, also known as Mia No Time for Love. Check out my latest book, Missing, Extraordinary Relation of Ordinary People, based upon a real-life relationship, available in print and ebook formats on Amazon. Do read it. I'm sure you'll love it. It's www.miamosensia.com and www.amazon.com/Mia
It's now time for the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, YouTube, iTunes, Anchor FM, Radio Public, and the MikeWagnerShow.com. Mike brings you great guests and interesting people from all across the globe. So sit back, relax, and enjoy another great episode of the Mike Wagner Show.
Hey everybody, it's Mike from the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Looking at a professional website without breaking your budget? Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable, custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show. Get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level. Also, check out the latest novel by well-known award-winning author Mian Moshe Zia of No Time for Love, called Missing, an extraordinary relationship between two ordinary people based on real-life events that go through 4 countries, 2 strangers, and 1 target, where truth is an illusion and the ones you love will be the first to go missing. Check out the book on Amazon and other retailers, available on all formats today. Also, the Mike Wagner Show can be heard on the MikeWagnerShow.com and on over 30 podcast platforms, including Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also on Anchor FM, iTunes, Google Play, Amazon, Apple, Audible, and more. Coming soon to Podbean, Buzzsprout, Pandora, and TuneIn. And take the Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device. Subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel, and follow the Mike Wagner Show on Instagram and Twitter today. We're here with a couple of wonderful musicians who grew up in Houston and are now in Nashville. And we've got the lead singer and bass player of this terrific band that really put the indie into indie rock, and they've got some great songs like 15 Seconds, Even If It Breathes, one of their EPs, and also they also earned one of the accolades on Celebration of Revolution, which is featured on the Lightning 100, ranked number 140 in NAAC charts as well, too. They play at South by Southwest quite a few times, starting in 18, and we'll be playing one of their new songs in just a few minutes. And live, ladies and gentlemen, from the Plus Studios in beautiful Nashville, Tennessee, from Houston, Nashville, ladies and gentlemen, the very, very talented Stephen Luther and Ryan Stowe of Born Animal. Guys, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thanks for joining us today.
Hey, Mike, how's it going?
Hey, we're doing great. Where's your counterpart at? I only hear one person.
Oh, it's me. I'm here too. And if you hear any crackling, that's the dog under the table who's having a hell of a time with the chew toy under there. So.
Oh, really? What's your dog's name?
Her name is Layla, but she has many nicknames, as any true pet should have.
Yeah, it confuses a lot of people. We call her Moo Moo because she looks like a cow. She's a bit of a mutt, but she's got some pit bull in her, and all she does is lay around all day and wants cuddles. So we call her Moo Moo. We call her the pig. So people who don't know me that hear me talking about it think I have like all kinds of farm animals at the house.
Well, do you think she can talk right now if we put Layla or Moo Moo on the line? So maybe we can just hear her too. I'm sure she's part of the group as well too. So maybe she can say hello like woof 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 woof.
She can be vocal sometimes.
Okay, so can she? Right, well, can she say hi? Hi, Layla. Hi, Moo Moo. Hi. Hello. What's that?
She's telling me we have to go through her agent or something. Her feed's pretty crazy. I'll try to get her in touch with you guys.
Oh, okay, sounds good. So we'll send some chew toys on the way as well as some milk bones and more. And
you know how it works.
Yeah, exactly. And maybe she can tour with you guys too. So you guys both grew up in Houston. You're now in Nashville, and you also have played at South by Southwest. Quite a few times since 18 as well too, and you guys go back a ways. You've got your debut called Celebration Revolution, which came out in 17, won a couple awards, and you also have an EP out, Even If It Breaks. You also had 15 Seconds. We'll be playing one of your latest in just a minute, but first, before going to all that, tell us how you first got started, guys.
Yeah, Steven and I started playing together all the way back in high school, actually. We were, 15, 16 at the time, and we did that for a little while. The Houston scene is a little tough. It's a really big city, but there's not that big of an art community, and the art community that does exist is very secluded within a few neighborhoods and pretty exclusive, So when we came time for college, I decided to move up to Nashville, and Steven came up a year later. And yeah, we were just really excited to kind of throw ourselves into a scene, into more of a community, as opposed to something that was, so fragmented. And Nashville's treated us really well, and we've loved our time here, and don't really see any reason to leave for a good long while. It's a great home, and we really love it here.
Mm-hmm. It sounds like you guys are having a really good time, and if I'm talking to Steven or Ryan here, and first of all, one of you jump in here and tell us how you first got started with your careers. So one of you go first.
So actually, I got a bit of a late start. Part of the reason I moved up to Nashville a year after Ryan is because I took a gap year, because I didn't even decide I wanted to play music until I was like 16, basically. Before then, I always played Guitar Hero and loved that game, so I actually wanted to play guitar. But when I was taking guitar lessons, I was actually leaving the shop, and I heard somebody shredding on bass. And I went in there, and it was Mark White from the Spin Doctors.
Oh my gosh!
And I was just like, "You have to teach me." And he was like, "All right, be here like this time next week." I was like, "All right, of course, yes." And so I got a bass or whatever. I walk into the very first lesson, and he's on the phone with somebody. He's like, "Hang on a second." He's like, "Hey man, you want to be in a band?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "All right, I'll get him to you in a week," and hangs up. And that ended up being the first time Ryan and I were in a band together.
Yeah. So I don't really. This is Ryan speaking here. I mean, I can't really think of a time that I've played in a band that Steven hasn't been in, so it's just kind of this weird compadre kind of journey that we've been on, and like we're roommates and best friends and bandmates, and people always say like don't be roommates with someone you can't afford to be friends with, but thank God it worked out.
It sounds like you guys have a great chemistry. And Ryan, tell us how you first got started, especially before meeting Steven.
Yeah, I started playing piano actually when I was really young, probably 6 or 7 years old. I had a few teachers and stuff, and kind of went through those phases of really loving it to not wanting to touch it, back and forth and stuff. I got really into rock and roll music when I was a teenager, and kind of found out that I had a decent voice and that I could sing and stuff, and kind of just spent a lot of time developing those skills. And I think what really turned the corner for me was starting to write songs and craft that skill set, I guess. I remember, I think this was before I had met Steven or he had joined the band, but I was playing with some people, again, we're like 16, right? So I don't know how legit that is, but we were in some music competition in Houston, and it was like a battle of the band style thing. And it was, you get to play 3 or 4 songs, but the catch was like one of the songs like had to be an original song. And we didn't have any original songs. And so the guitar player who I was friends with at the time just kind of looked at me and was like, well, you're the singer, like, go write something. And I was like, I don't know. Oh, okay. So yeah, I wrote my first song when I was 15 or 16, and haven't really been able to put it down since. And then, yeah, Steven joined the band, and then I moved to Nashville, and then he moved to Nashville, and it's just been quite the roller coaster for the last, 6 or 7 years. So
yeah, Nashville's definitely been really cool. I visited Ryan up here during my gap year and just absolutely fell in love with the city and the music community here. So it's been awesome.
It sounds like it too. And what was that one moment that precisely influenced you guys into what you're doing? So we can start with Steven, or we can start with Ryan. What was that one moment that precisely said, this is what I'm going to do for the rest of my life?
I think for me, it really started with the stage and kind of the connection with the audience. The live setting for me was the big moment that kind of drew me in. Actually, probably during that, battle of the bands thing, as like a 16-year-old kid that just like really drove into me how cool and fun an experience like this could be, and how fulfilling and exciting it was. Obviously, things are a lot different in the year 2020. Live music is few and far between, unfortunately. And since then, Steven and I have just really thrown ourselves into the studio and starting to learn how to really get the sound that we want, but doing it ourselves. And we'd always kind of dabbled in that area, but the pandemic has really kind of forced us to lean into it really hard. And the result of that is something like our new song, Last of Your Kind, which is, quite different from a lot of our previous releases. And it's kind of encroaching on this new territory that we're really excited to experiment with more. And I would definitely say that, Last of Your Kind, even though it was written before the pandemic, it's really kind of our COVID baby, if you will.
That's amazing. And Steven, what was that one moment for you that precisely influenced into what you're doing?
I don't know if it was any one moment or if it was just like a million different moments, because, I used to think I was going to be like a pro soccer player. That's what I was going to do with my life. I was playing like ODP, club, school, all at the same time, and, just really playing a lot. I ended up getting a couple of concussions, with one that was like kind of serious my senior year of high school. And so I decided basically to stop playing, but also at that point I had been playing bass for around a year. And what I just had been learning is that like I just got a feeling of just like fulfillment that, nothing else had really given me before. And, it was kind of scary but beautiful at the same time, that you can never master everything about music, but you can learn so much about it. And I think just being around the right people, the music teacher at my high school, Donald Thede, shout out to you at St. Thomas, and having Mark there, just having those people that were willing to like help push me, I think just gave me like a lot of different opportunities to fall in love with music.
Mm-hmm. And also, who are some of your favorite artists, singers, musicians, and especially Ryan guitars? Who are your favorites growing up?
Man, for me growing up, it kind of started with influences from my dad mostly. Beatles, Zeppelin, The Doors. As I grew up and kind of started to discover more things for myself, the artist, songwriter, band, whatever you want to call them, that made me want to start writing songs was Dave Grohl and the Foo Fighters. There's lots of varying opinions on that band, and they've been around for 25, almost 30 years now, and some of their stuff is great, some of it's pretty mediocre now. You definitely grow up and like look back at the stuff you listen to and just be like, man, I can't believe I used to play that one song on repeat like a million times. but you did, and you kind of cringe at it a little bit. But it's like, I think that's just part of life and growing up. And we, for me, it was Dave and his songwriting, kind of the passion that I felt relayed through that music. And as I got into college, I got into more kind of indie music, I guess. Like one of Steven and I's favorite bands is The National. They're really starting to make their way into the, I guess, like cultural dialogue of modern music more, which is really great because it is a long overdue spotlight that needs to be shown on them. But yeah, that's where I've been at, and I've been listening to a lot of pop music recently in like these last few months, and it's cool, man. Like you can never listen to everything, and it's just like an endless treasure trove. You can just keep digging.
Mm-hmm. And then how about you, Steven, as well too? Who are some of your favorites growing up?
So, growing up, I actually had a babysitter who would constantly listen to like R&B and soul. So a lot of times driving in the car, coming home from school or whatever, I'd be listening to that in the car. So I got like I just fell in love with like funk music and, how much fun it is and the concept behind it and like, just how adventurous and like fun it was. So Bootsy Collins, P-Funk or Parliament Funkadelic, those were huge influences on me, and definitely Victor Wooten was a huge influence in terms of bass because he just really pushes the boundary in terms of what a bass can really do. And he talks a lot about like really the spirituality of music and how to like really connect with people through it, which I love. Also, I'm not a paid spokesperson, although Victor, if you want to pay me, I talk about your book enough to be one.
All right, so I gotta jump in here. Steven probably knows the story that I'm about to tell. So Victor Wooten actually lives. I'm telling the story.
I'm so mad.
Victor Wooten actually lives here in Nashville, and Steven is, a true disciple, I would say, of Victor.
Yep.
And we used to live in this little neighborhood that had this awesome, like, local bagel shop. And we would go pretty regularly, and we were on, like, different schedules. And so I popped in there one morning on my way into an internship or work or school. It was something. And I look over at the counter, and I see this kind of stocky black dude with the beanie, and I'm like, I recognize that beanie. And that guy turns around, and sure enough, Victor Wooten is in the bagel shop.
Oh my gosh!
I get so excited. I run out of the bagel shop, and we live just like 2 minutes down the road. And I call Steven probably 10, 15 times, trying to wake his ass up. Steven, like, I leave him a voicemail, like, Steven, Victor Wooten's in the bagel shop right now. Like, you have to come. You have to come. Well, he sleeps through all of my phone calls. And so I wind up, he's about to make his way out, and I walk up to him, and I'm like, excuse me, Mr. Wooten? And he turns around and he's like, hey man, it's Victor. And I was like, oh my gosh, you're so cool. I I respect you so much, but my roommate and my best friend, he like worships you. Like he's asleep 2 minutes down the road right now. He is never going to believe this story. And I really hate to be that guy, but it would be so funny if he woke up to a picture of you and me together. Can I please just take a quick picture? And he was like, yeah, man, absolutely. He was so nice about it. And so Steven wakes up at like 8:30 in the morning to a picture of me and Victor Wooten hanging out in the bagel shop. And
so the night before I had worked like basically till like 1 a.m. So I like didn't set any alarms. I like turned off notifications on my phone. And then I wake up in the morning and the first thing at the top of my phone is the photo with Ryan with Victor, and I was like, what? And I start like running out of bed, and then I see it's been like 30 minutes, and I call him like, where is he?
It was long gone, rode off into the sunset.
Yeah, as mysteriously as he came, so he went.
Oh my gosh, I think you should have that as an alarm or a ringtone next time you think about that. Oh my goodness, that is something. And we're going to talk about some of your music in just a minute here, but first listen to The Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Looking on a professional website without breaking your budget, Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention The Mike Wagner Show. Get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level. Also, check out the latest novel by well-known award-winning author Mia Moshinzia of No Time for Love, called Missing, an extraordinary relationship between two ordinary people based on real-life events that go through 4 countries, 2 strangers, and 1 target, where truth is an illusion and the ones you love will be the first to go missing. Check out the book on Amazon and other retailers, available on all formats today. Also, The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on themikewagnershow.com and on over 30 podcast platforms, including Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also on Anchor FM, iTunes, Google Play, Apple, Amazon, Audible, and coming soon to Podbean, Buzzsprout, Pandora, and TuneIn, and more. Take The Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device. Subscribe to The Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel, and follow The Mike Wagner Show on Instagram and Twitter today. We're here with Ryan Stowe and Steven. Yes, it is Steven Luther here on The Mike Wagner Show, best known as Born Animal, from Houston to Nashville, and they made a very interesting journey. And let's talk about your debut EP release called Celebration on Revolution, which came out back in 2017. And tell us a little bit more about that one.
That was, man, what a I haven't thought about that record in a long time. It's funny that you bring it up. I think that was, it was a true sort of like fledgling moment where we didn't really know how to make a record at all.
Okay, all right. Well, he's not in charge of promo.
Maybe this is too heavy-handed of a comparison, but it's kind of like when your mom like digs out that bin of all the artwork that you did in kindergarten, and it's like finger paintings, and she's really proud of you, but you look at that and you're like, Mom, like, why are you excited about this? You know what I mean? That's kind of how I feel. That's how I feel, like, kind of looking at that. I'm totally proud of the work that we did on it. We recorded it at CSA, Columbia Studio A, over on Music Row in Nashville. It's like it's this one-way street on 16th, just kind of south of downtown, I guess, where tons and tons of studios and publishing houses and record labels are. And it's for a long time there, it was like the dead center of country music, really kind of almost in a global sense. That's where it all lived and breathed. And that's actually where my favorite Bob Dylan album was recorded, along with Johnny Cash, at the album Nashville Skyline. It was actually done in that room. And so we walked in there, and it's this massive, massive room, probably 100 feet by 50 feet with 30-foot ceilings. And I walked in there, I remember, and just immediately got chills. It was a surreal experience to be in there and to make a bunch of noise in there, really. And so yeah, that was a really cool process. And the lineup of the band was different back then, and a lot of things have changed and kind of moved around since then. But you know, I'm proud of it in the same way that I guess I'm like proud of my finger paintings. That's a way too heavy-handed, but you know.
And of course, your parents are still proud of you, and I'm proud of you as well too. So even if I know that's going a little too far, but you know what I'm saying here. So you also have on Spotify as well too, and other platforms, even for breaks, 15 seconds, Shake Your Soul. Tell us more about that. And if you got some other music, you can also tell us about it as well.
Yeah, the 15 seconds is, you know, one of my favorite tracks. It was written in a really cool way. Me and our drummer Adam just kind of grooving over a beat that he kind of threw out there. I remember him saying something along the lines of, oh man, of course I'm going to tell the story and I can't remember the dang song name. That song from the 60s, I think it's the Supremes. It's like, I need love, love, don't come easy.
Oh, You Can't Hurry Love. That's a popular one.
Yeah, I Can't Hurry Love. There we go. Great song. And Adam just, he was really going on a tear on that drum beat. He was just like, man, I love this drum beat so much. We should write a song with a groove like that. And I was like,
make it completely different.
And make it completely Well, and so we kind of took that and made it this really kind of bluesy, gutsy, Black Keys, Cage the Elephant kind of riff and sing along sort of ballad thing. And I definitely feel really proud about that song, mostly because of the production value, how tight and professional I guess it sounds, and. Yeah, I feel like that was definitely a jumping off point and a sort of turning point for the three of us. You know, we did it in one day at a studio, and it was you know, like I said, just the three of us. And I had some female friends of mine, singers, come in and do the big kind of gang vocal hook and stuff, which was really cool. I'm a sucker for some hooks. Got to have the hooks. It's not rock and roll if there aren't hooks. And yeah, I love that track. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, go ahead, Steve. I'm sorry. Go ahead, guys.
I was just gonna say, yeah. To Ryan's point, you know, Shake Your Soul, kind of similar to 15 Seconds, just in that, you know, we always try to capture like that live energy, and so that's definitely something that we always just try to put into those songs. And so, yeah, I think that's really an important part with those gang vocals.
Mm-hmm. And where can we find your music at?
Sorry, say that again?
Guys, where can we find your music at?
Oh, yeah, you can find us absolutely anywhere and everywhere. Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, Amazon,
Instagram.
Probably the Pirate Bay. I don't know if we're popular enough to have been torrented yet, but if you want to rip us off even more than Spotify does, you can find us there. And I guess you could also email me and ask really nicely, and I'd probably send you an MP3 because that's just the kind of people we are. So.
Well, that sounds fantastic. We're going to play your latest Last of a Kind in just a minute, but first listen to The Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Look on a professional website without breaking a budget. Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs at below the competition way. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960, or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention The Mike Wagner Show, get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios, take your image to the next level. Also, check out the latest novel by well-known award-winning author Miyamoto Zia of No Time for Love, called Missing, an extraordinary relationship between two ordinary people based on real-life events that go through 4 countries, 2 strangers, and 1 target, where truth is an illusion and the ones you love will be the first to go missing. Check out the book on Amazon and other retailers, available on all formats today. Also, The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on themikewagnershow.com and on over 30 podcast platforms, including Facebook, Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also on Anchor FM, iTunes, Google Play, Apple, Amazon, Audible, and coming soon to Podbean, Buzzsprout, Pandora, TuneIn, and more. Take the Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device. Subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel, and follow the Mike Wagner Show on Instagram and Twitter today. We're here with Ryan Stowe and Stephen Luther of Born Animal here on the Mike Wagner Show. Right now, here's the latest called Last of Your Kind. It's Born Animal right here on the Mike Wagner Show.
Tough question. What the hell has happened to the world you're living in? There's a new flag where the old one has been for 100 of years. Kid, you better settle into the new order and all. Bottom to the top, coming like a cannonball. Gonna ride this wave and pray it never stops. Hard to believe that it's taken this long. You're the last of your kind. Out of your prime, step to the sun. Take your high horse for a ride, for a ride, for a ride. Who's gonna believe what it looked like before? Land before time, talking like a dinosaur. You're the last of your kind, of your kind, of your kind. Start saying goodbye to the good old days. There's no room for that shit in the modern age. You better forget the flashes and forget the names. How about a black saying this is what remains of the last days who tried to kill us all? A hole in the ozone, backs against the wall. And your hero is a villain and your villain is a saint. None of them will be that hard to replace. The last of your kind, out of your prime, step to the side. Take your high horse for a ride, for a ride, for a ride. Who's gonna believe what it looked like before? Land before time, talking like a dinosaur. You're the last of your kind, yeah, of your kind, of your kind.
What's going on? We been telling y'all, we done try to kneel and got told the ball. United we strong, divided we fall. Take a look around, what they trying to do? Pin the color, the color, how shady move. Don't tell me what to do, they ain't killing you. We connect and stand up for your tribe and move. We connect and stand up for your tribe and move. Change up your outdated views and keep going through. It's time to get the crust out your eyes. It's time to move. We the collective, we were chosen to change. We the collective, that's gonna take back the reign. So we sang with this race for each other.
Last of your kind, out of your prime, step to the side. Take your high horse for a ride, for a ride, for a ride. Who's gonna believe what it looked like before? Land before time, talking like a dinosaur. You're the last of your kind, of your kind, of your
Last of Your Kind from Born Animal here on the Mike Wagner Show. Tell us more about that song, what inspired you to write it, guys. That's a great tune, by the way.
Yeah, man,
Thank you so much.
we appreciate it. Based on the lyrical content of the song, it might surprise you and your listeners to learn that it was actually written probably a year ago. I think it was written in October of 2019. Stephen and I were in the kitchen and just kind of goofing off and wound up writing that little bouncy riff, and then we made a little demo maybe a few days later. And then again, I was just back in the kitchen playing the demo on my iPhone, and just kind of wound up throwing up the lyrics kind of all in one go. It was generally, that's not how I write my songs, but it just really kind of flowed out of me in like a really natural way. And between writing the lyrics and recording it, there were no edits made. So it was completely raw and fresh, which again is not how I normally do it. But, you know, sometimes when the magic moment is there, it's there, and, you know, you don't question it. Mm-hmm. We had a lot of like really great help with the song. the lead line is carried by a baritone saxophone, and that was played by this wonderful musician named Tom Eisenhood. He plays in another Nashville band that's originally from New Orleans. They're called Stoop Kids. They're really fantastic and one of the best bands that's making waves here in Nashville. And then the rap verse that's thrown on there, man, if you had told me even 6 months ago, Ryan, you're going to release a song that has a rap feature on it, I probably would have laughed in your face. But our producer suggested it, and I was really against the idea. I think all three of us were, just because we didn't really see it. We didn't have the vision for it. But we're also the kind of people that look, man, if you really believe in it, you go out and you find it. And we're always down to listen to something. We're always down to try something. And he went and sourced 2 or 3 demos, and we all sat down together one day and, played them all back together. And I was really unimpressed by 2 out of the 3. And then we got to Mulu's, and we opened up the file, and all the other songs have been these, semi-professionally recorded demos, audio files with someone clearly speaking into a microphone. And we open a Mulu's session, and it's, he's holding a phone in front of a dirty laptop or iPad or something like that. And he's got the lyrics in front of him, and we all just kind of look at each other oh, great. Okay. But then he started talking, then he started rapping, and I think we all only really listened to it one time before we all turned around and looked at each other, and we're just all right, well, that's going in. It just has to. It was really sublime. It was just such a cool experience. I couldn't believe that we had created a canvas that somebody else felt inspired to add their own colors to, and to do it in such a natural way, and in a way that really reflected his experience on what it was like to be a black male in a 2020 America. This is, post George Floyd, post Black Lives Matter, really blowing up and going mainstream. And we just kind of felt that we had a responsibility to accept his art and to use our platform as a voice for him as well. It just felt really right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And go ahead. I think you had something else, Stephen or Ryan. Was there something else you wanted to add?
Yeah, I mean, like Ryan said earlier, this was really just our quarantine baby. We had a lot of time to really just sit down and make sure everything was perfect, and there was really no pressure to release the song necessarily, because we really started working on it at the beginning of COVID, and nobody knew really how long it was going to be, what was going on, or whatever. So we really just took our time with this. And yeah, Alex Carter, our producer on that, was fantastic. He got us in touch with Mulu. And like Ryan said, we were just blown away. And we probably had never really considered our music, as Ryan put it, like a canvas for a rapper. But, being able to share that art with somebody, who's in Philadelphia, who we couldn't even be in the same room with, unfortunately, due to COVID. But just to get to still share that art with them, and to get to take our time and kind of introduce these new elements like the baritone sax. Tom did a great job there. I think that really gave us the ability again to just get creative and go a little bit weird with it.
Yeah, and I would definitely say that it's inspired us for our future releases as well. The response to the song has been overwhelmingly very positive. And I think it's encouraged us to push the envelope even farther, to not be afraid of experimenting. I mean, the big thing that I always was concerned about is oh, well, it's cool on the computer, but how are you going to do it live in front of people? And I'm really not worried about that at all anymore, mostly because well, there is no doing it in front of people right now. And, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. I mean, I think you have to put the music first, and it really feels good to step out of the boxes and the cages that I have personally put myself into. Like, nobody put me there. I put myself in there, but it feels good to be able to have the confidence to step outside of those things.
Mm-hmm. And it sounds like you guys did a great job. And where can we find Last of Your Kind at?
Also everywhere that you might listen to music. It is on Apple Music and Spotify and Amazon Music and YouTube. And, I'm going to go ahead and say it's not on the Pirate Bay yet. Someone probably hasn't torrented that one yet, but give it a little while, and who knows? You can also email me for an MP3. I will just send you one. If you have a dedicated listener who has made it to this point in the show and is like, man, I really want an MP3 for free of that song, you email me, Ryan@bornanimalmusic.com. Say, I listen to the Mike Wagner show and I want that MP3. I'll be like, no questions asked, buddy. You got it.
And we'll save you 15% or more by switching to car insurance. We'll do that. And I'll guarantee you, we're not going to bug you by extending your car warranty. So I guarantee you that. So once again, Stephen Luther and Ryan Still, Born Animal here on the Mike Wagner Show. Guys, very big thank you for your time. You've been absolutely great. Just a few more minutes here on the Mike Wagner Show with Born Animal. And what can we expect from you guys in 2021 and beyond?
Oh, man.
Hopefully more music, more creative craziness, and hopefully more shows.
Yeah, we got a few new songs in the chamber right now. We're really excited about them. But we don't, obviously nobody really knows what's going to be going on. Even a few months from now. I mean, there's talk of a vaccine, which would be great, but personally, even when I'm like watching TV and stuff and I see a crowd of people from a movie like 20 years ago, I'm like, why aren't you social distancing? I got like freaked out about it. So it's definitely going to be strange to resume live things. I think it'll be a while before it gets back to what it used to be. But I think in the meantime, it's just really important to keep pressing forward, to keep creating, to keep writing. Also, if you're an artist listening to this, you don't have to create. I put an enormous amount of pressure on myself to constantly be doing and creating, especially writing. And, sometimes it's better to just not do that for a little while and kind of recharge the old batteries. I'm kind of in a bit of a stage like that right now myself. And, it's okay to give yourself that kind of room to just be a normal human for a little bit. So I definitely have to remind myself of that.
And I think a lot of people are doing that as well, too. And who do you consider biggest influences in your careers, guys?
Oh, man. I just love Victor Wooten's approach to music, the way he teaches it. And the way that he makes it, too. It's very communal, and it's very much about expression and, just really trying to make an art out of the music. Besides that, again, I love Bootsy Collins. That guy is a huge influence on me, and just kind of the way that even I approach live. So just always keeping it funky, baby.
And for me, I think it's, I think I mentioned earlier, I've been really getting into, some more pop music, which is something that I've definitely shied away from in the past. Bands and artists that I used to make fun of on a regular basis are now kind of all I listen to, which is a weird sort of thing to come around on. The main one being the 1975. I just didn't get it for the longest time. And the other day I just sat down and put them on. I don't know why I was compelled to do so, but I'm glad I did. And I've just been really impressed by their writing, by their production. The album that they put out this year, Notes on a Conditional Form, is one of the most diverse and exciting records I've heard in a really long time. and it's like 24 songs. It like takes over an hour to listen to that whole thing. But I wasn't bored for a second. I just thought it was super innovative and fun and cool. You can say that they're unoriginal or, there's a lot of warranted criticism, I'd say, of the music. But for me, it's just new and exciting. And based off of the kind of positive response that we've had from Last of Your Kind, I'm just like, let's dive into this. Let's try different things and being more diverse and not hold ourselves to some weird standard that doesn't really matter. Yeah, don't be afraid of growth.
And that's very important as well, too. And I'm just trying to clarify once again, what's the best advice you guys can give to anybody at this point?
Man, I mean, if you're young and starting out, I mean, I think the biggest piece of advice that I can give is to, stop thinking about it and just kind of start doing it. You will fail all the time. Get comfortable with that. It's really important because, for me personally, I probably write 5 lame songs before I write one good one. It used to be a lot worse than that. It used to be like 10-1, but I feel like I'm getting kind of better. That and, get yourself a little $100, $200 little recording interface. Start teaching yourself how to record and how to layer and build things together and do the stuff that makes you happy and collaborate with people if that's what you want to do. I know so many people, whether they be from high school or people I've met in Nashville or family members or whoever it is, who say that they want to do something or start something and never actually finish it. And I think finishing is a pretty underrated concept that I think not enough people really talk about. I know a lot of people who start songs and never finish. I try to finish every song I write, even if I hate it. Even if I hate it, I try to finish it.
and I think let's hear from Ryan as well, too, unless we hear from Steven as well. What's the best advice you can give to anybody?
Yeah, I mean, I hope we don't get sued by Nike, but I got to agree, just do it. For me, I always thought about playing music for a while. It took me until I was 16 to finally, jump into it. But, I mean, you're going to fail a lot, but that's how you figure out how to do it. Everybody fails in the beginning, and, just try to surround yourself by people who are also passionate and who are, willing to experiment with you, especially if you're younger, like Ryan said, just get out there and mess around with a bunch of stuff, because who knows what you'll like or what crazy stuff you'll make. And I feel like that's just going to be the best way to learn, is to just keep going at it.
Mm-hmm. And that's very important as well, too. Once again, Stephen Luther and Ryan Still, a Born Animal, here on the Mike Wagner Show. Guys, very big thank you for your time. You've been absolutely fantastic. Looking forward to having you again soon. Do us a favor, keep us up to date. Love you back on in 2021 and beyond. And once again, tell us about your upcoming projects, what's your website, how do people contact you, where can people purchase or listen to your music?
So you can find us at bornanimalmusic.com. We have some cool merch. We have cool t-shirts. We have some stickers, a few CDs from our older releases. So slide into the DMs on the website there, and we'll hook you up with some cool merch. You can find our music just about anywhere that you listen to music, whether that be Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, Amazon Music. We are all over the place. To keep up with us, we are pretty regular posters on Instagram. That's kind of our platform of choice, so we definitely recommend giving us a follow there. And we hope that your ears will grace some of our music and vice versa, and maybe even get to see in person sometime next year and beyond.
And we're looking forward to it as well, too. Once again, guys, a very big thank you for your time. You've been absolutely great. Looking forward to having you again soon. Do us a favor, keep us up to date. Love you back on 2021 and beyond. And don't forget to keep in touch. You guys have been absolutely terrific. And say hello to Layla and Mumu for us. They're looking back on the show.
Right here.
Thank you, Mike.
Yeah, thanks so much, Mike. We've had a great time.
The Mike Wagner Show is powered by Sonic Web Studios. If you're looking to start or upgrade your online presence, visit www.sonicwebstudios.com for all of your online needs. Sonic Web Studios specializes in custom web design, app development, social networking, search engine optimization, domain registration, email marketing, online stores, and more. Since our birth, we have been designing and developing immaculate websites and providing web solutions which are a cut above the rest. As a leading web designing enterprise, we have a team of extremely talented web designers who are well-focused and have the experience of working on multiple web developing platforms such as PHP, Magento, custom WordPress, and more. Sonic Web Studios has been helping businesses of all kinds, whether big, small, established, or startup, impress their audiences with exemplary web solutions. We don't just create beautiful and functional websites. We give you a complete online solution with the main goal of enhancing your yearly revenues. We aim to give your business the online exposure and brand acknowledgement that will help you in achieving increased conversions leading to profitable sales. Call 1-800-303-3960 or visit us online at www.sonicwebstudios.com to get started today. Mention the Mike Wagner Show and get 20% off your project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level.
Hi, this is Mia Mosinzia, also known as Mia No Time for Love. Check out my latest book, Missing: Extraordinary Relation of Ordinary People Based Upon a Real-Life Relationship, available in print and ebook formats on Amazon. Do read it. I'm sure you'll love it. It's www.miamosinzia.com and www.amazon.com/Mia Mosinzia.
Thanks for listening to The Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, iTunes, YouTube, Anchor FM, Radio Public, and themikewagnershow.com. Please support our program with your donations at themikewagnershow.com. Join us again next time for another great episode of The Mike Wagner Show.